This is the Cobra CLAW. The Cobra CLAW is a classic G.I. Joe vehicle. It stands for Covert Light Areal Weapon. It was used in the 1980s. Noteworthy pilots were Cobra Commander and Storm Shadow in the comics. Here we have the Claw with the Cobra Pilot, who's a female pilot. And this is the latest release from G.I. Joe Classified. It's a cool little small glider. Apparently it's covert and it's used for special mission. And we're going to see what we can do, how cool this toy is, in a few seconds. Of course, this version of the Cobra CLAW has been updated with G.I. Joe Classified sensibilities. It's better than anything that was done before. It's got more trinkets, it's got wheels, you can control the flight, there's more weapons, it's more realistic and probably dangerous for the pilot. The Claw first appeared in G.I. Joe issue 21, the famous silent issues, where it was manned by Storm Shadow, who kidnapped Scarlet. Later on, Scarlet and Snake Eyes escape with the same Claw. In the G.I. Joe cartoon from the 1980s, it appeared in the first episode of the second miniseries. In 1984, The Revenge of Cobra, where Cobra Commander was piloting one of them at the beginning of the episode as they attack G.I. Joe. And we're going to be looking at this thing in further detail. It's closest to what's known as a power glider or even a hang glider. But usually the hang gliders are not powered. So they're not powered this way, and often they're not exactly powered with jet turbine. This is how it looks. In real life, this thing should not be made of metal. It should be made of light carbon, because if it was made of metal, it would not be able to take off so easily. It can't be made of something so heavy. So there might be carbon parts here, or at most aluminum. And maybe only the jets here have something else, something more metallic or based on aluminum. The handlebars, everything should be made of carbon to ensure that this thing can actually float, or glide, I should say. So this is how it looks so far. It's very dangerous here. If the pilot for any reason touches these parts, she might burn herself. So she has to be very careful and expertly trained on this as she flies. Now she doesn't need to wear the helmet. The mask here is enough, but the helmet helps. Apparently she has no parachute with her. So if she does get into some kind of entanglement or accident, she can't really jump out with a parachute. She'll probably die. So she has to be extremely crazy to just pilot with this thing. She's basically a daredevil. And the helmet keeps on falling. You've noticed that I've replaced the head. I've put the mask head. Now this thing doesn't go fast enough to warrant putting the full mask, but it does help with bugs as it flies, you know. Could be dangerous. These are the two regular heads. In the package it came with the black head here. Now I'm going to be reusing those heads for these girls, the Valkyries. I like adding diversity, so these should be compatible. So I'm gonna be taking one of those Valkyries here, and she's gonna have, well, they're both gonna have the red heads, and probably they'll be officers or special agents or something like that. Now the Cobra Pilot is a reuse partly of the Valkyrie, but also the Marine soldier, the top half. I'll show you that in a while. It also comes with 2 jet exhaust here. Machine gun or Gatling gun, I don't know what that is, from which you can remove the dispenser. Just gonna put that here on the table for a while. So you can remove the ammo. Okay. Now I know the ammo, the gold part goes in the front. So this is the direction of the ammo. Technically you could put it the other way also if you wanted, but it would be shooting backward or something. It's up to you. It doesn't really matter which way you want to use it. Okay. This is a Uzi with a silencer. Now the Uzi looks better with the silencer on. There is nowhere to store this on the figure. You cannot remove the ammo here. Okay. So there is no place to store the weapons on the character as she flies. So it means that as she lands, I guess she'll have something to back up the girls that she's with, her friends. Now we've already done the turnaround. This is how the wheel goes. So it's like that as it lands. So it can roll. And the rolling, the way it's done, the figure is not scratched on the ground, but the handlebars are. In the classic CLAW, the wheels were attached to the handlebar, but they've decided to change that. So as you pull this in, you have to rotate it a bit, like that. Just remove those, like this, and like this. Now I mentioned that this was probably made of carbon in real life. You can adjust the flip of the wings, but there's also missiles here. And there's a machine gun here that doesn't go far. It doesn't go all the way here. Tails, you can flip those as it stops, you know. It stops like that. So you can play with this. It's actually quite fun. You see that there's a camera on top here. So possibly if she's wearing those goggles, she can see the same thing as the glider is seeing somehow. Okay. Now let's take her out of the jet. Oh, by the way, she holds her hands pretty well on the handlebars, so that shouldn't be a problem. But obviously, always be careful not to break the fingers. Let's remove the belt from her. This is the only thing that's keeping her alive. That's keeping her in the air. Okay, I'm gonna do this off camera and I'll come back. The good thing about these things being difficult to remove is that she's gonna stay there. The figure is gonna stay there for quite a while. So you won't have to worry about the figure just falling all the time. So I'll flip those guys back. I don't know if they're supposed to be this way or inside. I don't think it really matters. Well, maybe it does. Who knows? And it can stay on its own like that. It can flip. Now the Cobra Pilot, they just got their Cobra Pilot. They could have given her a different name, but that's how they decided they were gonna call her Cobra Pilot. Comes with a gun, which works with the silencer also. It doesn't stay well in the holster, so you'll have to be careful with that, as you may lose that gun. Unfortunately, there's no place to store the silencer in the holster, fortunately. Now the character comes with a contraption here. As you can see, there is no parachute on her. She does come with an electronic display that allows her to see where she's traveling to. And I'm happy to report that the double elbow articulations are quite good on her. And that helmet keeps flipping back all the time. It's really annoying. These are the articulation at the elbows. I'm just gonna go get a Marine so I can compare her with the Marines and the Valkyries. Okay, so this is the Cobra Pilot next to Cobra Valkyries. And the Marine. Now we can see that she's got the same chest as a Marine. It's the same chest. I don't know about the crutch, so I'm just gonna check the crutch area. The crutch is the same one as the Marine, not the Cobra Valkyrie, as you can see. But the legs and the boots appear to be the Valkyries. So she's a mashup of the two characters. The arms are also from the Valkyrie, as you can see. From the Marine, I should say, not the Valkyrie. Apologies. This helmet that doesn't stay. Heads. You can put this one. This one came with the character. Or you can put that one. Now I only bought one claw and pilot. Space would be a concern. Now it's starting to be a concern, so just one of those. And reviewer Punk with Toys showed that you can store this on the back of a his tank if you have one. And if I'm not mistaken, this should also be, can also be stored on a Cobra snake. We'll see when the Cobra snakes arrives, if it does so. In which case, if you can put it on a Cobra snake, or, well, as you can already put it on a his tank, it's going to take less space for your storage, as it's going to rest on another vehicle already taking up space in your collection. Okay. Does the helmet stay better? We'll see. Kind of. It's probably gonna, yeah, okay, it's not solid. You have to put it this way for it to stay. If you even blow on it, it's gonna fall. It's not the case with the Valkyries. I don't know why this one is so difficult. Well, maybe. Now I need to find 2 Valkyries to have new heads. Alright, let's do some head switching. That, and I've got a new top officer for the girls. Okay. Back with the helmet face. Oh, this one was well. Stuck. At least the head pegs are still compatible with the classified lines. The head pegs are never compatible. It's all over the place. You never know what you're gonna get with the classified lines. It's crazy. Just gonna exchange the helmets here. I want this girl to have an officer helmet, and this one can wear a regular helmet. Again, this is the claw, the glider. It's good. This is good too. I'm using this action figure stand, the starting lineup. I'm only putting it at the legs. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that permanently, since I don't want to damage this figure over time. But obviously I found that it fits best this way. Now I'm going to put the jacket once again. Allow me. And I like to tighten it up as much as possible. she's tightly integrated here. It can become a bit difficult to raise her arm after that. Let's just flip those guys for now. Alright, so this is how it looks when it's fully geared up. This is the action figure stand on the set. This is how it looks on the back. There you have it. This is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, figurines since 2002. Like and subscribe.